I don't have a clap stuff, but yeah. Let's start the thing, the Bipolar Buddies.
Yes.
Very nice to do this with you, Naz. My first question to you would be, how are you today?
How are you? That's it. You know, when you ask me, how am I, Michel, you get a straight answer. When I ask you, how are you, that's everybody needs about 3-4 hours spare in their life just to listen to that. So I'm going to make it short. Today I'm good, actually. I'm good. I'm feeling where I need to be. That's good. I'm feeling excited about we're finally doing something with this. It's been in the making for a long time. It's, you know, it's been a question of whether was it just a bipolar idea or can we bring it into fruition, into light? But yes, with patience and perseverance and obviously our lifestyles, we've brought it into, we're here. And I'm happy that we're here. However it may go, you know, no expectation.
Absolutely.
So I just want to, that was quite a long answer, Michel. That was a bit like how are you? But other than that, I'm fine, thank you.
I think I'm pretty contagious. I'm not going to elaborate on what is being contagious, you know, because it takes too much time. But I'm very happy that it happened because we are talking about it since a time it had to mature. We are also not the most technical people in the world, so we had to get the platform right. It's not a very sophisticated platform, but at least it's you and me, and we are talking, and hopefully people are hearing our voices, so which is a good start. So like
exactly, and I think as well, like for me, because I'm in, you've got the reality of world, you've got work, circumstances, external circumstances, and then you've got your own bipolar thing that you're fighting with. That's another journey that you're playing with. I don't like to say fighting, I would like to say learning with, because that's pretty much what it is every day. You're learning every day, you're managing every day, you know, with whatever it is, with the highs and lows, because I'm bipolar too. I've had that most of my life. That's just in brief, but it's for the last, since we were speaking about this, I've been working on myself a lot, you know, and so external circumstances I couldn't put around. Then I've been trying to manage and work with the bipolar side of it as well. But now I'm in a comfortable position, and it kind of happened at the right time, you know. I personally believe for everybody, look, you're off now, I've got a decent daytime job now, you know, and so the universe has aligned us at the correct time, I believe, you know.
Yes, to launch this Bipolar Buddy things. But to go a little bit back, could you say something about yourself, about your background?
Well, I'm from the UK, but I'm mixed race. I'm half English, half Pakistani. I think I was diagnosed when I was about 25, I think it was. But I know that it's been with me since I was a child. You know, so I've got bipolar too, so it's mainly a lot of depressions that I suffer with.
Yeah.
And then I've always thought the highs that I go on after the depressions is the normal state. And so I've always gone up and down, and then now just being with it and observing it, it's I'm becoming friends with it now, Michel. There's nothing I can do, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of self-work, a lot of curiosity, a lot of, obviously since meeting you couple of years ago, I think, because we got to know you through, you became my coach, bipolar coach, and that was a great help to have a buddy, a bipolar buddy, and that's where this came from, is bipolar buddies, because I've never had anybody to discuss the madness with, you know, like, because it's not madness, but it is sometimes. You're with it every day. Yesterday you was this, today you're this, you know. So, and it's nice to have that, you know. I used to message you, voice note you, but it was good to have that, because if I'd have done that to a parent or to a friend,
Yeah.
they would have been like, what's up? You okay? Blah, blah, blah. You know,
Yeah.
but with you just, with your very nice French, you calm down now, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It kind of said that it's good to have that support. And that's where,
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe for
that's
the people who listen to, I like very much this introduction because it's we're already going in several places. It's not linear, but we are not linear at all. You will
that is
notice it.
bipolar.
That's for sure. Me, I'm for the people who didn't notice it, I've got an accent. I'm French, and I'm kind of a veteran bipolar.
Yes.
And I've got like 40 years of bipolar and type 1. I'm type 1, and I've got 3 huge episodes until I totally rock bottom, and I almost to lose everything to get aware about what I had, and then I just let's say reacted on it. And I think that since 20 years I'm pretty let's say stable is not the word, but let's say balanced, and I would say more and more, and wanting to share about this is the reason why we got in touch together, because you
Yes.
I let's say I started as a coach, and you were one of the first people I coached, actually. And I think that this coaching thing is, you are as much as a coach as you are a buddy. And
Yes.
I mean, from being coached and you getting better and better, finding yourself, we became friends
Yes.
and buddies.
Yes.
And that's how came this idea to have this kind of go on with this kind of conversation. We had like questioning bipolar. What is it? What did you feel? And with absolutely no boundaries.
No.
And being, I think, also pretty disruptive, critical regarding any assumption people would make about bipolar. And I think these exchanges we had were just very, very interesting for us both.
Yes.
And that's why we thought, yeah, maybe it's might be interesting also for other people. So that's
no, because like with this, like I want, if we can try and get people involved, just talking on the show, but bringing them in and just having general conversation, like a buddy, isn't it, at the end of the day?
yeah.
Because for me, until you, I never had anybody to discuss it with, and for me personally, because you've been stable for a very long time, then
Yes.
I can, you have a wealth of knowledge. Because you're there, it's more of an inspiration for me, that and a hope that it is possible to control it. Yes, you still have it, you're still with it, you're still with your medication,
Yeah.
but you have such a beautiful way of working with it. Like we both know ourselves, we do work in a spiritual way, that as well as a everyday way,
Yes.
medication. I personally don't. That's another story, but that's my own personal choice. But I have been on medication, but we'll discuss that, elaborate on that another time. But like with management, support groups around you, people around you, and I know you have a great family support system, a fantastic support system with you. And for me, like, I love my family, they're great people, but for this, there's no support system, they'll, and with you, Michel, you are my support system in this, like, and it highs or lows, and I know it will go unjudgmental, and it will come back from the understanding from a bipolar mindset, and even like I remember when we was discussing about this podcast, we left it for a little bit thinking, is it a bit too high? Is it a phase? Is it this? So we have kind of left it in such a way with an awareness, and now we're putting it into progress, that it wasn't just a bipolar idea. It's more of a passion, but we didn't do it when maybe I was on a bit of a high at that time, because it wasn't correct, maybe the right timing to do it, and I didn't just want to do something start it and then not finishing it. But now, a little bit longer into my journey, I'm like, let's do this. I feel solid foundation that it's still something that I want to do, not just a quick high and a whim. It's just like, okay, but it was good that we had that chance to step back, you know?
Because, you know, I think it's the best way to, well, I mean, sharing is caring. If you are not yet able to share in the right way because you are not there yet, because you are not in the end of this process, and you've got your own process, and you don't take medication, but you do a lot to get yourself stable enough. And that's for me also very important, also to commit myself to your process, because I see that it's working. But this, what I like very much is, I think that our visions of bipolar are kind of all inclusive in a way that, let's say, taking charge of bipolar is very important. Accepting your condition is very important, but also it means accepting that you are bipolar, and this open other doors, because it means that you have experienced such different situations, states of consciousness, and so on, which makes you who you are today, and for you and towards other people. And there is also something about bipolar that that most of the time you just put one word behind it, like, oh, delusional, that's it. And people tend not to go further when it's about, okay, what did you feel, what happened factually, what was this delusion, and what if you open a door, what are you doing with it today? It's interesting because you and I, we are no bullshit people, and I'm not going to just take the politically correct side, only, but also just say how I come to be not only stable but happy, balanced with it, and I think complete as a human being, because I'm using my bipolar brain in a way that doesn't prevent me from being myself, or to doing creative stuff or dairy stuff whatsoever. That's what I want to share, because you cannot go, let's say, deal with your bipolar if there is no hope, if there is no life project, if there is no purpose. And these are not cliches, and these are the things we're going to talk about in this podcast. And doesn't mean to need to be heavy stuff. It can be light, but it's serious. You know, we are serious about what we say, about we question. That's how we work with each other, and that's what we want to
no, because I think we've both got our different look. Like, you know, we're both got our different. You're bipolar 1, I'm bipolar 2. Yeah, you're a male, I'm a female. You're super old, I'm very young.
I have humor.
You're French. There's nothing more I can say.
I have a great humor.
That's it.
You no, because you said something. You said that you were funnier than I am, and I think it's pretty rude. I was in shock.
What, that I'm funnier than you?
Yeah.
That's a fact, Michel. That's
no. I refute it.
That's got nothing to do with me being high. That's just a fact.
Would you say that it's cultural as well? Because then, you know, we go in some places. Well, no, but I think we also like to joke and to be self-spotting, if this word exists, because it's life. Because the best way to get to deal with bipolar is also not to take you too seriously, because this is discriminating when it's like, oh, you don't touch this, you don't go there, because, you know, it doesn't work like this. You just address the thing, and there are many good jokes to come about situations.
The thing is, with bipolar, look, our minds are been wide open is so many times, you know, on the highs, you know, like it's just been so. So how can what we not discuss all this? You know, just because when we come back down to the thing, it's we have to discuss it. It is a
Yes.
part of it, you know. Like I have my own. Through the last 2 years, I decided first when I reached out to you, and then I took steps for myself, like personal changes in my lifestyle and everything. And you know, I made it a dedication to right. Let's work with this now. And a big thing with you that I came to was acceptance. And it's true. I accept it. This is who I am. Today I might be this. Today I'm that. You know, naturally, normally I'm moody. I have my mood swings anyway. That's not bipolar. That's just me being moody. You know, that's it. But some days this idea is great, then it's not so great, and you become two different people.
Yeah.
It's an imbalancement in you. You know, I forgot where I was going. I don't know where I was going with that. Where was I, Michel? You'll test whether he was listening.
No, but you were saying that one important dimension of this podcast is that we are vulnerable. I mean, we say what we think, what we experience, and it can be that you are in lower mood, whatever. We're not going to just to broadcast only when we are like, you know, I feel well. No, if you feel lower, if I feel lower whatsoever, we just do it because it's how it is. And I think it's also a very good part of let's say dealing with your bipolar is to, you know, you do your stuff. Maybe you are not in the mood to, but there are things to be done to get better, and we'll give you, I think, along the way, our perception, maybe our tips about how can you manage when you are depressed, deep depressed, or just going out of depression, or you are just in a boring interval phase and you've got the nostalgia to lower your meds and to go back to this glorious hypomania and so on. I mean, we've been there big time. You know, you've been delusional. I just my past. I ended up in the streets. I lost a lot of money. I divorced, hospitalization, and so on. We'll come back to these things when it's relevant, but it's very heavy.
Or is that going to be in your book, Michel? Your paragraph. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to get Michel to write his book, but he keeps procrastinating. He sends me a paragraph every 3-4 weeks. So I just keep giving a dig about Michel writing a book that his non-book. Sorry, carry on as we were.
Yeah, but that's also, that will be a part of the podcast, is Naz bullying me. But I take it, like, you know, I take it like a man. I see this as an extra signal that I have to go back to my fucking book.
Exactly.
And
One day,
starting with
Michel.
paragraphs, because that's your expression, paragraphs. Because I wrote 60 pages. I've got to write this book. But in the meantime, and that's another topic I would like very much to address during the podcast, it's maybe to find it's not an easier way, but it's an other way.
Bullshit. Is that what you want to explore? No.
No, yeah, but you know, it's I'm also making poetry and like with music, electronic music, to tell my story. It's shorter, but
You're
not
expressing
less.
yourself in a creative way, shall we say, rather than a lazy way. Let's say creative, Michel.
It's creative, and I think it will be like a very immersive project with words and music and live acts, probably, and I think showing this vision, this bold vision we have about bipolar, you know, and that's the point. And I totally agree that a real thing will be writing a book about my very long story, and the learnings are the most important thing. But expressing bipolar through what you like to do creatively is is also a great way of sharing, and also to way of, let's say, also normalizing the discussion around bipolar. You know, we will be this side, a kind of bright side, sometimes talking about the dark side, but in a way which is not only the 12 steps to recover, and you know, because this is done and this is perfect. We want to bring another flavor, another tone of voice. And as you said, we are very complementary, especially me. No, I'm joking.
Of course, Michel, of course. Oh, Michel, this screen's getting too small for your head.
You think you are more complimentary than I am? Okay, no, just joking.
No, but like, it's a space. I want it space for everybody. Everybody. Any questions? There's no stigma. No, you know, if you say bipolar, and no, what's the word? Discrimination on anyway. Look,
Yeah.
I'm mixed race, so there's, you know, it's, you've got two different races, completely different subject, but it's how can you discriminate? You can't discriminate. You know, you have to be open to everything. I'm bipolar, so I've seen two extremes of worlds, and it's just, in spite of anything, just go with it. Just be an open space. You want to ask this, but just, there's one thing: is no hate, no judgment. That's it. If all I say to people is, if you don't like what we're talking about, or you don't agree with it, don't listen. No. Simple. If you like it, listen. If it's not your cup of tea, don't drink it. You know, exactly. If it is, please join in, and other people to come and get involved as well and create the podcasts. You know, we create the foundations, but other people will make it through questions. We want people to tell us topics that they want to discuss. Any questions they want an answer to. It's not like we know the answers. Obviously, you think you know them because that's who you are. But
that's got a sound issue here.
No, but anything, you know, it's an open space just to discuss anything about bipolar. Like me, for this space, like I want to explore a spiritual side to bipolar. It's for me, it's a personal, interesting journey for me.
Yeah.
But also the science side as well. I want to bring things together. If I can see patterns and bring things together, and I want us to explore it all together. I don't.
Yeah.
You can't just say this is this and this is that, black and white. Trust me, nothing's black and white in bipolar. You know, nothing's blak and white in bipolar.
Except our logo.
Except our logo. Exactly. No, just a nice space for everybody just to sit, be friendly, play, enjoy, have a laugh, but be serious. Like, a big discussion is management. Like, every day we are on self-management alert, you know, like every day, the forefront of your mind, I personally think, should be your personal self-management. And this is not even for bipolar, it's for every human being, you know. It's very important that we look after ourselves. So like, but it's not easy, Michel. I still fight with it I still have challenges with self-management every day, but it's the thing that keeps me going, you know.
Yeah, but that's why it's good to share about it, because there is something, you know, you were talking about the differences and so on, but bipolar is pretty universal, and there are things that help to prevent a relapse. There are lifestyle things that you can, let's say, make less boring than if it's only counting your steps. You know, you can also be embracing a tree and making enough steps towards the tree. These kind of things.
Yes.
I think that works, and that's also you embed, if I can say so, your bipolar in you, in your daily life, but also in your projects. You know, you don't repeat the same mistakes. You try to consider it, and that's what I would like very much to talk about. And if we can share with people who who have just let's say an expertise on it, who are just experienced people, bipolar in their field and so on, or being in another context, because the context is very important. I mean, the UK, France is a context, but Africa is another context, and America is another context. It's very interesting to see and to discuss also about the way the culture impacts on being and living your bipolar, you know. And I'm coaching people from very, very different. I'm coaching in three languages. It can be American, it can be Saudi Arabia, it can be Belgium, it can be whatever. And you see the impact of the context, but also this line that there is between the situations. And I love to address it. And I think, you know, if we do it in this podcast, I think we can inspire maybe, but help as well, that people can place their own condition, you know, toward the rest, because otherwise you work alone with your with this condition, and it's you don't need to, and
we want to hear from everybody's point of view, because even the experts don't actually know what it is, you know. Not just in this field, in any field, you know. You only know it at one point the world was flat until it was proven that it wasn't, you know. So it's ever evolving. Exactly. So you just got to be open-minded to every factor to it, you know. It's like I've been with the medication, and I decided to try to listen. With me, I don't have children, I don't have much responsibility, you know. I'm just trying to survive the normal everyday life. So I experiment myself. I always have been experimental with myself since I was young, and I thought it was depression. I thought, right, how do I get happy? So I've read everything, all the books, all the self-help books, psychological books, all the natural healing, all the tablets, all this. I've tried everything. I've read into everything, and to me, it's a life's work. I enjoy this, you know. Like every day is just learning something new about the human body, the human mind, the human soul, the human. So I experiment, and I decided to experiment with myself regarding the tablets, and so far so good. I'm not saying that for people to do. Don't do that, because, you know, I work in a completely different way. You've done your journey in a completely different way, and it hasn't been easy. You know, it hasn't been easy. So it's not about that. It's just about it's about managing yourself and working with yourself and being open with yourself about every single thing. Like, I'm totally honest with myself about everything. I know myself inside out, and I'm losing a lot of train of thought today, Michel. I don't know where I'm going.
No, you're just what you are saying basically is that you are exploring the options with no not in assumptions. And what we want to do here is also to be, we are candid. We don't pretend to be the specialist. There are many people who know a lot more than we do on this field. The thing is, being candid and vulnerable towards this dimension of bipolar, that's a great way to also to see, to share, to check what is possible, what might work with you or not.
I'm not a specialist in bipolar 2, but I'm a specialist within my own journey. You know, so I can.
Me too.
I can say this. I've tried this and it works. Like, if somebody tells me that, I don't know, hopping on one leg for 20 hours is going to cure my bipolar, I will try that. Do you understand? I will try that with caution, because I think you just like doing stuff like that for fun, Michel.
You should do this, Naz. You should
we should try it one time.
Film it.
No, but that's my type of I'm passionate that this will not defeat me. It will not take over my life. You know, I'm passionate that I will have a control over it. And I don't want the lows to ever get the better of me. Ever. I've always looked at things and why is this happening to me? Obviously, you shouldn't look at that mindset, but I'm thinking, how can I be in a better situation? So I've fought towards that to better my life and better my position.
Yes.
Because it's hard being in it. It's hard being this person or these people in everyday life,
Yes.
trying to fit in to everyday society. It's hard, you know, because you do get stigma. You do get, I'll go with another idea, and they're like, oh, what you doing now this week, Nazzy? You're buying a boat, and I'm just like, yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
you know. And it's, I have a laugh about it, but it doesn't mean that I enjoy being like this. Sometimes I do just want to be steady. I do just want to work. So I'm like I said, I'm open, and I just want this place to be open. Don't take what I'm saying as this is the truth. This is my truth. What people need to do, that's what I want this space is. We want to get plenty of people on here from everywhere, and they need to find their truth, you know?
Exactly.
They need to find their way, their
Yeah.
truth. And that's the main thing. But everything you need to do is you do need support. You do need support throughout it or whatever. You know, me, I'm a wildfire. I always have been, but I've always had a certain amount of self-control. But you do need support, you know, simple.
Support and discipline. But once again, it doesn't need to be only this. If we can help people to find this, it's a very thin path where you got this management thing, but also you do your stuff physically, psychologically, and so on. What is you express yourself? It makes you balanced, but without too much compromise, you know, because it's possible. And you know, having been through this, that's my field of expertise would be something like that. And it's not only my journey, it's also the people around. And believe me, I got back people along the way and so on. But I know that there is a way to be yourself with your bipolar, managing it, and finding also your own let's say happiness and truth in small things instead of chasing the mystical stuff, being all over the place and so on, which I've been big time. That's what I want to bring on the table, you know, this experience, and because I know also from other people it's possible to bring them there to that's what we did together, this work.
Yes.
It's a mindset, and everyone has got its own way and solution and so on, but there is, in the sharing, in the curiosity, in the openness, there are things to be used to get well, and that's the purpose of Bipolar Buddies. And it's buddies, meaning that we would love to grow our, let's say, a community of buddies.
Buddy network,
yeah. And because this works, it's a synergy. It can bring more and more people to just to find this way of dealing with bipolar. That's the purpose, and we will see where it brings us, but we will enjoy the ride anyway.
No, and I remember when we first set out with this definitely well over a year ago, and I wrote everything down and how it was going to be structured, and I think my mind got too much of like bipolarish about it, you know, hypolarish about it, and like now I think just go with it, you know, there's no set structure. Like I think getting people involved, like I'm not going to give advice, but I'm going to see how this worked for me, and and help people in any way. But it's not just that we all learn together. We all learn off each other, from somebody else's story, or through somebody else's version. But I just want people to know that there is hope, and there is people out there supporting in the same community, and we can get this through together through buddies. Like, if you don't fit in normal society and people don't get you, just pop into this space, come join us, come chat with us, make a comment, ask any questions, and however we'll work through it, because nobody's on their own. Nobody's on their own, and nobody should definitely be on their own, especially regarding bipolar, because it's a very, even though we're bipolar with each other, we're still in our own world, our own individual struggles. I can empathize, but I can't step into your world.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think we're talking about structure. The thing we will do is to define, let's say, a main topic, then go from this and see where it leads us. And also the way for us to share will be to have this podcast being, let's say, you can link and react on it on YouTube would be the main thing.
Yes.
Instagram. And some other places. We'll see, because it's also meant to, we'll see how it grows, how it goes and how it grows. But yeah, I'm very, very, very
let's just try and find one buddy first, Michel.
Yeah, that's our aim, is to find
it's just one, but at least one buddy,
someone we wouldn't pay, like a free buddy.
Yeah, the buddy that we don't pay for.
Because
it's just one little buddy. That's all we need for now, Yeah.
Well, because now we've got no buddies. So
now it's just one. And I'm not going to lie, Michel, as much as I love you, sometimes I need more bipolar buddies than you,
This kind of conversation, it's meant after like the 4th season, like Michel, I'm a little bit bored. Let's find someone else, I
thought I'd use you for this platform to find myself some more buddies, Michel. Simple. Yeah. Exactly. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Exactly. We'll get a different bipolar buddy involved. No, but I think there's so much to talk about and so many conversations to go, and I just like talking about it, different subjects, and I want to get other people and see other people's versions of their bipolar, their understanding of it, and their struggles, and if it's not just for us to help other people, it's other people can help the other people as well through their journeys. It's a big topic is how to financially, that I want to keep financially at bay during bipolar. Do you know what because it's keeping society, keeping the everyday life going. When you have bipolar, because this is a big struggle. It's so
getting a job, while being bipolar, when you've got maybe a special status, do you talk about it or not? It's a whole process where sometimes you can name it, sometimes you can't. So we'll also talk about this stigma thing, or just how the society is prepared to address this condition. But
or even dating, Michel. I told you, didn't I? I went on the dating site and I was speaking to somebody, and we got on, we had a laugh and everything, and then I says, right, I've got to go now because I'm speaking to my bipolar buddy, because I had an appointment with you. And it's like, what? I says, yeah, I've got bipolar. It completely changed. Michel. And then it's like, oh, all right then. And I says, I've got it at bay now. I'm in a fantastic position. It's very well controlled and very well managed that I have it. And it's like, okay. And then he messaged me saying, I've got too much going on at the moment. I can't take this burden on as well. As I've heard from Jean-Claude Van Damme's experience of bipolar. I didn't even know Jean-Claude Van Damme was bipolar, so it's taken one celebrity's account of what bipolar is,
yeah,
and that's it. It's completely dismissed it. That could have been something good. It could have been, and I did. I messaged him. I turned around. I says, "Look, you've done me a favor, because I don't need somebody with such a small mind as you anyway." You know, I don't, because you know, he's taking it away, and I says, just don't judge people on one celebrity. Don't judge people on one celebrity. I don't expect you to understand it and be a part of it. I get that, but don't judge people on what one celebrity has said about bipolar, you know?
And I think there is, I can try to picture it, but there is a world between you and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Exactly.
It's like the two opposites of a spectrum.
That guy's a celebrity. He's had this crazy world. I'm just sat here in my little English bloody street doing freezing all the time because it's England. But it's completely different worlds, you know?
Yeah.
And he's probably a lot more drug induced and this, that, and the other. So he's probably had a lot more support and help financial out there.
It's more like celebrity induced, which can be a trigger when it's too much, you know. So I think it's got a very interesting life to analyze. And
so
talks about
first time. Yeah, first time in my life I've been dumped because of bipolar. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, wow. You know, I'm like, take your small little mind and go.
But maybe we will use some quotes of Jean-Claude Van Damme, because he said sometimes funny things.
Is he French, Michel?
You know, that's another field that's talking about triggers and so on. There's so many topics to be addressed. And I was thinking that if people are just you know, like listening to us since the beginning of our conversation, they just need to know that this is a teaser. It's not, we're not trying to cover the whole, you know, thing about bipolar. But I think it's pretty much how we are and how we talk about stuff, and it can be very freestyling.
Yes.
Which I personally love too, because you know, you don't do it. That's the thing with buddies. You know what bipolar is. I know what bipolar is. So we you know, it's not like I have to explain to you stuff. And when we talk about this topic, that's the dimension I like very much. Already with you, and I've got it with some other bipolars.
Yeah. But so you have more bipolar buddies, Michel, do you? Okay, that's fine.
The potential people.
But I'm still number one, though, aren't I, Michel?
They want to be paid to be part of the podcast.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine. I'll find my own bipolar buddies, Michel, and then we'll run off into the sunset together.
I see. Jean-Claude is entering the room. Hi, Jean-Claude.
And just that guy actually messaged me back and asked me how I was about 2 months later, and I'm like, you see, you won't find anyone like me, you see.
And this is another topic. There is beauty in bipolar. That's something I just posted about some time ago. There is beauty about it, and it's very interesting. I would love this to be a topic. Where lies the beauty? Because some people who said, horrible disease and so on, you want to get rid of it, and so on. But there is beauty in it, and I think I've got a pretty nuanced answer about where lies the beauty about bipolar. But this is a teaser, so we're not going to.
I was going to say, Michel, we're going to need another 10 hours for your answer.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the beauty of bipolar.
No, but I think for today, I think we've expressed enough, and hopefully people want to join and they'll give us more advice. Simple as that.
Yeah, maybe we
or how they want to see this podcast going, you know, as well. Like we'll just go ride the wave.
Yeah, you know, that's also being bipolar, maybe being just going with the flow and coming back to the points, because it's important. But there is one thing we didn't talk about yet. It's the merchandise thing.
Oh, the merchandise, Michel. Yeah, the t-shirts.
The Bipolar Buddies t-shirts.
There is no Bipolar Buddies merchandise, Michel. Every time we had a conversation, you always went off into a new merchandise idea. And,
yeah, it's just ideas, but I like the just keep it ideas. But it could take many different forms, you know. We've got a logo. That's
we've got a logo, exactly.
Yeah.
You could use it as a t-shirt, you could use
Yeah.
it as a headscarf.
Yeah.
You could use it as a cloth, you know. So many avenues, Michel, to go down.
If you want to do wild camping, maybe we could create a Bipolar Buddy tent.
What Bipolar Buddy tent? You imagine setting up with BB.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody next to him coming and saying, "We're Bipolar Buddies." Nobody will pitch up tent next to you.
A Bipolar Buddy diet, you know, like with champagne.
What?
Without
Diet.
champagne. Yeah.
The Bipolar Buddies diet is when you go on a high and you don't eat, isn't it? For so many days.
Could be, or you eat too much.
Or eat too much.
We'll see.
Depending.
We'll see.
We will see. We will see. Well, I hope people have enjoyed this. I've enjoyed our little conversation today, Michel.
Me too.
And hopefully we can elaborate on it even more and see where it goes.
Yes.
Hope for the best. So
let's do this thing.
Huh?
I said, let's do this thing, like being buddies.
Being buddies.
Having nice conversations.
Nice conversation, being buddies. Like I said, I'm using you to get more buddies. And then with them, that's it. We're away.
Thank you, Naz.
Thank you, Michel. Thank you for everybody for listening. And yeah, just any comments and improvements or likes or dislikes.
Any call to action? No, it's Sunday, so no call to action.
Sundays.
No call to action on Sundays.
It's relaxing day. It's a relaxing day, exactly. Okay, no problem. Right.
All right.
Should we wrap up?
Yeah.
That's the wrap, as Jean-Claude Van Damme says. Right, Michel, press the button.
Where is it? Attends.
I don't know.
I lost it.